good to know about that. We're playing with those two guys. You've been playing with Steve Swallow for a long time.
Off and on for 50 years or more, and Joey maybe 20, 25 years. But we had never worked as a trio or played as a trio until we did this recording for ECM a couple of years ago called Wisteria. But I sort of knew it would work, and since then, Swallow and Joey have become very, very close friends, and it's like family. It's very easy, and they're easy to travel with. There's no attitude, no ego. We just laugh and have a good time and enjoy playing the music, which is the way it should be.
Now, is that one of your favorite to play in a trio, or you'd rather have a bigger band?
No. Trio is my favorite.
And why is that?
Probably because I can sort of state, the exposition of the music, the song, let's say, the way I want to. The concept of the trio for me, anyway, is about a conversation. We all are equal, as far as I'm concerned. And I can do something, they'll respond to. Joey will do something, I'll respond to. It goes that way, but somebody has to sort of lead,
yes.
And I use that word very carefully because, as I say, it really is a trio of equals in conversation.
Well, start that direction and then let them.
Mm-hmm. So, and I also enjoy solo concerts too. That's challenging in its own way because you either sink or swim, depending upon what you do. But I enjoy that.
I doubt that you sink.
Well, thank you, but
no.
Sometimes, I'm my own worst critic, as most musicians are. But trio and solo, those are my two favorite. I've done some recordings, quartet, which is depending on who the horn player is. Did something with Joe Lovano, and there's a younger saxophone player in New York named Eric Alexander, who's very, very good. I've done a couple of things with him as well. But basically the trio or solo.
I was going to ask you about when you were playing with Coltrane, mm-hmm. and since I know that you really enjoyed playing with him in the 60s. Yes. I was wondering nowadays which guy you would have enjoyed playing with. So,
which guy?
As a saxophonist.
You mean today?
Yeah, in today's age, yeah.
As I said, mostly it's the trio. So Eric Alexander, I enjoy. We've done some work together. I enjoyed playing with Joe. Every year we did a Coltrane birthday celebration at Birdland in New York around John's birthday at the end of September. And we've been doing this for 6 or 7 years now. We haven't done it in the last couple of years, but that's always enjoyable, playing Coltrane's music. And he was very, very special. Coltrane was, as everybody knows, he was an extraordinary talent. Extraordinary.
So you're a lucky guy to have played with him.
I am blessed to have had the chance to work with him. It was only a couple of months, but we worked every 6 nights a week in one club. He was hired originally in New York, this club called the Jazz Gallery. He was hired originally for 2 weeks. They extended it to 4 weeks. 8 weeks. He wound up being there half a year, 6 months.
Wow. So they really liked it.
Which is unheard of. He did great business. And I was with him the first 2 months, and then McCoy Tyner joined the band. But it was an extraordinary experience for me, something I'll always remember.
read somewhere that maybe you would have been part of a Miles Davis band, but then you refused. So can you elaborate with that?
It's not that I refused. Ron Carter called me when Miles got that band together, and Ron called me and said, "Would you like to, it's going to be Tony Williams, myself, and maybe Wayne Shorter." And I was working with Stan Getz at the time, and I had been hearing that Miles, during those days, was not very dependable. He would hire people, or he would take a job and then he wouldn't show up, and the guys would be stranded in whatever city it was. And I was working steadily with Stan at the time because he had that Desafinado hit, so we were working a lot. So I regret it, but I said I'd love to do it. Miles is another hero of mine, but I was afraid economically that it would be a disaster. As it turned out, they called Herbie, and then that was the quintet.
And Art Tatum was your favorite?
I would say of all the pianists, yes. He could do it all. He had an incredible technique, but it was not technique for the sake of technique. It was music, and it touched the heart. He had a great sound on the piano. His harmonic knowledge was extraordinary, and he was best as a solo pianist because he didn't need a rhythm section or anything. Just by himself, he was the best. I mean, stylistically, in terms of where he was musically, it may sound dated to some people, but really, I mean, he was extraordinary musician, extraordinary. He's my all-time favorite, I think.
Okay, so I know that your career is like half a century. Nice span there, and you're still young. So what's next for you?
Thank you for that. As soon as I leave here, I'll go to the room and take a rest and have dinner. That's next. I know. I try to live. No, I'm not trying to be cute, but living in the moment.
Okay.
I'm happy at my age. I'm happy to just wake up every day and try to make as much happen during the day and get as much out of it as I possibly can. Mm-hmm. This past year has been a rough year medically. I've had several situations, medically speaking. The older you get, the sense of mortality is there. And time goes by very quickly. So
you have to see it as a tune-up, and then you go right ahead and do more stuff.
Well,
you have to. We love you. You have to.
I'm trying to take care of myself, and I have a personal trainer I see twice a week, plus physical therapy because I had back surgery a few months ago, and doing exercises every day, and just trying to stay as fit as I can. But
is it hard to play piano? Yeah, with the back.
No, it's hard at home if I'm playing alone, just playing stuff, and my back begins to stiffen up, so I get up and walk around. But when I'm playing a concert, I don't know. I mean, I'm just involved with the trio or whatever, solo, and my mind is really focused on that, and the audience is there, so it doesn't really affect me at all. But at home, when I have time to think about it, I say, oh, gee, I've been sitting here for 45 minutes. It's time to take a walk around the room or something.
The saga of Harrison Crab Feathers, yes, is a standard. Now, according to you, what other song of yours you consider would be a standard that people don't?
I don't know. You know, I changed the name of that song, by the way, to Poem for Number 15. It doesn't matter which title is used, and I wrote lyrics to it as well. But due to publishing reasons and the fact that in 1978, if you know anything about baseball in the States, the New York Yankees catcher by the name of Thurman Munson was tragically killed he had a private plane, and tragically his life ended there, and he wore number 15 on his back. So I retitled it Poem for Number 15 with the same lyric and everything. And I'm not a New York Yankees baseball fan, but it struck me at the time. Send $20 to me so I can be free to see how birds eat their food in the trees. Ham, how I love to eat ham. Vultures don't give a damn. Meat, monkeys eat with their feet. So when I'm alone, left with only a bone on top of the sky, birds are wondering why, and so am I. Pourquoi, pourquoi, pourquoi? Why? Thank you again for Steve Swallow, Joey Barron. I'm Steve Kuhn. Merci bien. Bonne nuit. Bonne nuit. Thank you.